What up, y'all? Uh, so, uh, I decided I'm gonna do a reading. So I put up the green screen, and I'm feeling fly. I'm feeling McFly. So, what up, people? I'm working on being calm, cool, and collective. It is what it is. So, I got these new cards, and as much as I'd love to go live, I won't be going live. I'm just gonna sit and enjoy the sound of that. It is not me. They ain't got them lights on for me. That's all I'm laughing at. Which is pretty telling. I've been seeing a lot of other card readers. That's what inspires me today. I want to get out there. And I wish I could go live. And instead I got to edit and add effects and water it down a little bit. But I feel magnificent. Alright, so that's one way of shuffling. Alright. So I figure I'm gonna go by the book because I'm still learning this deck. Fascinating. That's the moon. We're gonna obviously that's a picked card for the reading today. This is definitely so we're gonna have to look it up. That's the fun part. I thought I had it, but I know it is before the sun. And that's right. You gotta trust intuition. Intuition. It says the moon is a sign to trust your intuition. If any hunches or gut feelings arise, trust them. Situations may be more complicated than they appear at first glance. So dig deeper to discover the truth and avoid deception. There have been a lot of people lying about you, is what I keep seeing in all these other readings. The ones that inspired me to do this reading. A lot of them, just a lot of people are. What they've been saying, they're jealous of your. They're jealous of you. Just your. How do you keep getting through the bullshit that you keep getting thrown, knowing full well you don't deserve any of it, but you're just sitting there getting kicked, just kick in the face every 2 seconds, one gray hair after another, right? So you gotta trust that intuition and just keep doing what you're doing. Just keeping on. That is definitely been ringing out for a lot of people. I don't want this to be just about me. I have a lot of things on my mind as it is, but we are happy and healthy. This card is the 9 of... It's going to be the 9 of Wands, but they call them poles. I guess King Jareth and his poles, or like the walking cane poles. So the 9 of poles is right there. A challenge or a rival. You see, right now, it's important that you keep your guard up, conserve your energy and your resources in anticipation of what's to come. Protect yourself and what's important to you. And I have. And your self-love needs to be 100%. You need to as much as we don't want the 3D world to be our crutch, our pole, It is. We're stuck in this matrix, and we have this delay between what our heart and our mind and our soul are pushing and manifesting and projecting and tossing. We just have this delay between what we're capable of and what we literally have to overcome and arm wrestle with. You gotta hold on to what's important and keep it manifested. You're gonna have that. You're gonna have that. You're gonna have that time to shine. You just have to know what's important and pick the battles wisely. You have that rival. Don't go to jail over stupid shit. Okay, don't go to jail over stupid shit. It's not worth it in the long run. Yes, it's a test of devotion and compassion and lengths people are willing to go to. Why? What's it gonna do tomorrow? Like if you've ever battled with depression or suicide, or I don't want to make light of subjects, but mental health is important as fuck. And if you've ever battled with just knowing how to feel at a specific time, you'll understand it's an important battle to choose wisely where you stand. Know your footing, know your grounding, know what your limits are, and don't necessarily settle for that, but be open up to the fact that it's gonna kick the shit out of you. Life is not easy. Life is not fair. Life is not going to go your way all the time. You are gonna get a boot in the face. But just know when to actually grab that boot and cut the foot off. Don't just do that to all of them. You know, not all of them were doing it on purpose. Some were just doing all they know. That is mental trauma. Doing all you know and still just coming up with, well, fuck, I failed today. Shit, I gotta sit here all day. Paralysis. I'm stuck. Because what good am I? Don't fall for that trick. Don't fall for that. All right, let's continue on with another reading. Let's see here. Oh, that's fair. All right. I'm starting to only want to do the upright version, so I'm making sure I shuffle correctly. This is a good one to pull. A 9 of feathers, which I believe the feathers are like swords. I don't know. It must be a Disney thing. I don't know. Feathers and swords. I don't know. 10 of feathers. Don't upside down the book. Alrighty. A painful ending. See, look, it's gonna hurt. Life ain't easy. Whether this refers to a friendship, relationship, job, or other important aspect of your life, it's clear you will be left with heavy emotions. Give yourself time and space to process and grieve the closing of this chapter before beginning a new one. Swords are all about actions, okay? The sword column and the sword tarot, they reflect the actions we're taking. You are choosing this action. If this is the action you're choosing, it is going to be a painful one because you are severing something you trusted, you bonded and built with, but it is a betrayal. If you are going to take it 100% as a betrayal, you've lost this person. You've lost you've lost the ability to fix what should be fixing, or what should be fixable. You have a choice. You can fix it. It is fixable, depending on where you want to leave your mindset. If you're going to be petty enough to look at only what it appears to be on the outside and just take it as that face, no, this has to be happening. You have a choice to continue seeing it in that perspective, or you uplift, you raise up to where potentially someone is expecting you to be. Like, we had an understanding, we had clarification, we knew what we were talking about. And let's be honest, if we're throwing little fits to prove it to each other that we're correct, there's obviously more than that. So you can repair it. It's just a matter of maturity. I don't feel the need to shuffle. We're going to go right on into the King of Junk. This is going to be funny. Junk refers to finances and material, and kings represent authority and control and direction and leadership. Like, as if you doubted the leadership abilities of somebody. You doubted the leadership abilities and how chosen that person was for that specific task. They are the king of that shit. They know exactly what they're talking about. This could refer to careers and jobs. Like, you just interviewed for a position and you're probably way too overqualified for that position, which I would say finances. Your shit's coming into order. Everything's going to be aligned. Like and subscribe. I like saying that because who knows? I could throw this on YouTube, which I will, and that's where you're seeing me. But who knows? Get some views, meet some peoples, share some insights. Make everyone float like butterflies and bees and piss gold. That reminds me of a story from the army, but we'll save that for later. Let me not ruin these messages. Sorry, let me reshuffle this. Think of a question, hold it in your mind. We're going to see if it works on delayed. Because, there are delays within the spiritual realm. Come back and watch this video. Restart it right back here. I'm going to cut once, flip the card that I see. More junk. Really don't like that card. But nothing else seems... It's not fair to cheat and edit. So the 8 of junk. 8s are renewals or a transition of like watching and watching your investment and sitting and looking at it, kind of like, is this the right position of this? Am I doing the right motive here? The right move here? Let's see if I'm correct. Skill building and working harder to better your craft. See, you're reaping what you're sowing already. Tasks become easier the more you practice them. Focus, pay attention to detail, and you'll soon find yourself in a place of mastery. Yeah. So, I'll read that in a normal voice. The 8 of junk represents skill building and hard. No, not the 8 of junk represents skill. I'm doing it with the. What a bunch of shit. I'm sorry. There's cops. I'm trying to lighten the mood here. Go again. 8 of junk represents skill building and working hard to better your craft. Tasks become easier the more you practice them. Focus, pay attention to detail, and you'll find yourself in a place of mastery. Again, that's just a further detail of the door. I believe I'm laying it out as this one, the door knocker's conundrum. It's a good. It's probably backwards. You can't read it, but it's the door knocker's conundrum layout where it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's 2 doors. If you haven't seen the movie The Labyrinth, there's 2 doors that that she comes across. And Sarah is forced to pick either the one that's going to, lower her down with the helping hands, or like straight on through or something like that. You have options, and there's more detailed what's behind that door and what's behind this door. Now, 50-50 chances don't come often in life, but we want to focus mainly on manifestations. So because we have a conscious and a subconscious mind, that is why I picked the conundrum, because we have subconscious that gets us wrapped and hooked and keeps us perpetually going. Some people have such a trauma on that getting caught in the cycle of constantly dwelling on, anxiety is a good example of that. If you are going to constantly never be enough in that moment, or in the moment, or as a human being, or if you're going to constantly worry to the point of every scenario has to be fixed, that is not the point of existence. Anxiety is not the point of existence, like the reason we are here. It's good to be able to think that we can control the outcome and plan exactly how it's going to happen and make it. We created this thing called time, right? We have measures and markers of time, things that are so non-existent. Infinity is a huge number that knows no bounds. Unconditional knows those same rules. If we are manifesting within rules, then the one that constant thing should be is that our boundaries are endless. That the infinite, it is going to be endless to come up with and worry constantly about anything and everything. We have all the choice in the world to continue to worry. But why? That is just another paralleled existence upon the infinite measures we can have. We fragmented to experience multiple sensory realities. Put yourself on the best one. Align and get to it. Focus. Go to it. Be of that mind. And be thankful for that ability. Be thankful that we can do that. It's amazing. So I'm going to give it a cut. right about there. And I happen to notice that the Fool is a new journey, beginning out onto something new. But is that the star? That's the star behind it. Those are helpful. I'll take these two. I'll also take the one on top as a kicker, which is the Queen of Feathers. Which feathers are swords in this deck, so that means the Queen of Actions. Are we taking the actions needed? Are we nurturing and fostering the ideas that are new and going to lead us to the star? The star is the one that I'm going to question, but I'm going to say that these three needed to be pulled together. And with the Fool being what it is, we already know what the Fool is. Let's go see what the star invites you to remember that you have encountered many trials and made it through due to your resilience and faith in yourself and your journey. It invites you to reconnect with your sense of purpose and guides you through whatever changes are coming your way, following your inspiration and unbridled childlike optimism. Childlike optimism will see you through any adversity. To have faith like a child is something that has always rung out as intuition, and as emphatically as intuition could put upon me. Live authentically, live as genuine as possible, because there is no backup to that. You know, the absence of love and abundance is nothing. But surprisingly, when you balance good and evil anyways, or like order and chaos, when you balance those anyways, you get neutrality, right? You get nothing. Neutrality is nothing. It's all there, but there's nothing there. Right? That's when things are balanced. You feel nothing. That's cruise control mode. That's autopilot. That's fast forwarding, like in that weird old movie, Click, with Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler's been popping up in a lot of things too. I don't know what that means. Oh, the Hanukkah song or something like that. I don't know. Maybe. But the Queen of Feathers. This one's very like the first Pixie Hoggle sprayed with the little 67. That shit. I think that's where he was on the first one. So, Queen of Feathers, she be right on this page. On this page here. The Queen of Feathers is an intelligent, sensible, well-respected figure who does things her own way. She uses logic and reason to come to her own conclusions and isn't easily influenced by others. The Queen of Feathers has the confidence to stay true to herself, even in the face of conflict and criticism, or hoggle. Like I said, that's the one that, will take a bullet and stand there and, like, why? That's weird. But you have to be that person today, on this journey onto Star. And now ADHD kicks in and says we move on to the next. But this journey is going to be fun, and you know full well what you have to go and do. I want to look at that star again, just for sake of me. I believe, if I remembered it correctly. Oh, yeah. Faith like a child. Faith like a child on your way through, but even though you know full well you can do these because of the battles you've been through. So that'll help. I'm glad that worked out. That was the answer to your question, right? I would imagine that was the answer to your question. It seemed generalized, but initials usually help. So if you have any specific initials, I would hear an N loudly. My name, of course. I feel like these messages talk to me. That's why I do them. Even if they don't, they conduit through me. So my name is definitely in there. Anything with A's and B's and S's, because that's the brakes, right? ABS systems are brakes. Anti-lock braking system. Anything having to do with justice usually has M. So M and N, A, B, and S. K's, my name specifically, it's right there. And if we take that card, we have the Hanged Man. It's upside down. There we go. The Hanged Man. I couldn't have asked for that. You see, I don't want to pull it. I wanted to shuffle it out. So somehow I shuffled it out. That tower, fun fact about this that I learned recently, and then we'll go on to the Hanged Man. Yeah, that way. The Rider-Waite Smith tarot deck, the first one was by I believe it was by a missionary or someone of that nature. He was from the church, that's all I know. And he believed that they were extra messages from and helping from religious aspects. So like, I don't know, somewhere along the lines I was taught that tarot was pagan and demonic and evil and bad. But then I started like picturing to myself, like, didn't Moses come down from somewhere with these big tablets? And wouldn't that be like a big ass card, like a billboard or something, like a sign, like a message, like something we should have jotted down? Like, and writing wasn't invented for thousands of years. Writing wasn't invented for a long time. And even when we wrote, we didn't, like, not everybody was literate like we are today, or able to write and read. Like, there was maybe one dude in the whole town that could read your letter to you. He knew the words he was reading, but he couldn't write that shit. He couldn't write it. That was the guy next to him. He could write it, but he's the only one that could read it. That's weird. It's weird. Brains didn't work as good. You were happy enough to just be able to like an artist, write an end down, and you got that letter out. Now we just copy the next one. So you have thousands upon thousands of texts written as messages. Drawing pictures was easy as shit. That's why we have hieroglyphics. You can draw a picture and it's worth 1,000 words, right? No matter the words you use, there's 1,000 you can choose from, and beauty is in the eye of the beholder, which means every interpretation is going to be a different 1,000 words, which means infinitely we will have no idea what this picture means unless we associate something with it. And the people who have made these decks said that the Hanged Man, which should be right here, I did turn to it too, it's crazy. While most people would initially view Ludo as a ferocious beast, looks are deceiving. Remember, she is able to see the kind creature he really is. The Hanged Man calls for that same sort of shift in perspective. Things aren't always as serious, dire, or scary as they initially seem. Try pausing and taking a look at challenges in a new light. You may just find there was nothing to be afraid of after all. So again, you have a rival that is doing everything they fucking can to destroy you. And they're doing it with deception and lies, and they're winning. But don't let them. You know better than the bullshit that they are giving you. You knew this person thoroughly, because they walked right up to you and gave that person to you. They just walked right up and said, here, this is the one. That's the one making fun of you. That's the one picking on you. That's the one making shit for you. You know all. You can hear all. You can ask all. And you'll get the answers when you need them. So that was a weird history that I learned from that lesson in the Rider-Waite deck. It was Smith. She was a female illustrator. She's the one that actually drew all the pictures. And if you look in the artwork of it, you can see her little squiggle that suggested her name. So the very few things that suggested her name, because it was the times that they were in, they were afraid. Rider and Waite were afraid of publishing and not being able to publish. So they didn't include her name. OFW, man. Oh, fucking well. But now, things are better. We're going to edit that out. Anyways, this video has been long enough. I think we've answered more than enough questions. Feel free to go back, and if you remember your questions, re-listen to those answers. Save this. You never know if you'll want to look back at it for the beauty that it is, or be like, oh man, he was so wrong. You need to recalibrate, or shut up. Either way, I'm not shutting up, but I'll recalibrate all the time. You take it easy and have fun.